In this video, we're going to take a look at Cloudflare Workers. I'll give you an overview of what Workers is and what you can do with it. Then we'll use Workers to build and implement a Discord / command. For transparency, this video is sponsored by Cloudflare. So what is Cloudflare Workers? It's a serverless platform running on the edge that lets you create new apps or augment existing ones without configuring or maintaining infrastructure. So let's take a look. So first of all, this site looks amazing. I love it. So you write the code, they handle the rest. Deploy your server code instantly across the globe to give it exceptional performance, reliability, and scale. That's amazing. I love all these little animations. So from sign up to global deployment in less than 5 minutes, runs your code within milliseconds of your users worldwide, and no more cold starts, 0 milliseconds worldwide. That is amazing. So let's go down here. So one of the great things about Cloudflare Workers is all of the data centers that they have. So your code deploys across their 200 plus data centers worldwide, which means that your code will run within milliseconds of your end users. You can actually test your own latency here. Mine is right around 25 milliseconds, 24 milliseconds. That's amazing. So you no longer have to select your regions like US East 1. You don't have to configure auto scaling as you grow. It's automatically built in. And so it's production ready out of the box. They manage all of the upfront configuration, so you don't have to waste time on sizing, configuring load balancing, or guessing your user's behavior around builds. Like we talked about before, 0 milliseconds cold starts, that's just crazy. You can write in JavaScript, Rust, C, C++, any language that compiles to WebAssembly. Again, there's no servers or infrastructure to maintain, and it is very affordable. So the first 100,000 requests are completely free each day, and plans start at just $5 for 10 million requests. It also has edge storage built in with Workers KV, which is a low latency key value data store. They also have this great CLI called Wrangler. All we have to do is install Wrangler, log in, we can generate our project and then publish. It's super easy. So go ahead and sign up, it's free. The link to Cloudflare Workers is in the description below. Let's dive into the docs. So in here, we have some great use case examples. We have returning HTML. So if you have a static website, you can host it directly on Cloudflare Workers. We can return JSON, fetch HTML, fetch JSON, redirection. A/B testing is great. You can control responses based on cookies. We can alter headers, auth with headers, bulk redirects, cache API, conditional responses, country code redirect, and so many other great examples. Let's go over to our starters. So there are some templates that we can get started with. We have a basic hello world with TypeScript enabled, a router template, Apollo GraphQL server, speed test, image color. So this one will retrieve the dominant color of a PNG or JPEG, cloud storage, and here are some other examples with other languages: Rust, Python, Scala, Reason, F#, Dart, Kotlin, COBOL, Perl, and PHP. So great stuff there. And then let's go over to some tutorials. So we've got introduction to Cloudflare Workers, building a GitHub SMS notifications using Twilio, localize a website, authorize users with Auth0, deploying a static WordPress site, hello world with Rust, deploying a React app using Create React App, building a Slack bot, building a to-do list Jamstack app, and a QR code generator. So some great resources here to get you started. So let's take a look at some code. A link to the source code from this tutorial will be in the description below. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is install Wrangler. So we're going to say npm i-g for global, and then it's at Cloudflare/Wrangler. And that just takes a second. And the next thing we need to do is log in. So Wrangler login, and that asks to open up in a browser. So I'll say yes. And then just go ahead and log in. Now, again, if you haven't signed up, go ahead and sign up. It's completely free. And then you can log in. Once you've logged in, just go ahead and authorize Wrangler. And now you can close this page. All right, I'm in a new folder, and now we're going to generate a project. So we're going to say Wrangler generate, and then I'm just going to call this test worker. And you can call it whatever you want. Now let's cd into test worker. And then let's open this up in VS Code. So we can see in our project, there are several files here, but there's only a couple that we really need to worry about. So we're going to open up this Wrangler TOML. And you can see here that it has been named test worker. The type is JavaScript. That's fine for now. And then we have a blank account ID and workers dev true, route, and zone ID. I'll explain these in a second. The first thing that we'll want to do is put in our account ID. So let's go back into the Wrangler website. And right here under workers, you can see your account ID. So we'll go ahead and just click copy. And don't worry about the account ID. It's not something that's secret. So let's go back to VS Code and we'll put in our account ID. Now, when you signed up for workers, you were given the opportunity to create a workers domain, a dev domain. So the workers dev equals true means that we're going to deploy this to that dev domain. If we set this to false, then we could have this deployed to our own custom domains, and we would put those here in the routes and the zone ID. But we're not going to get into that in this tutorial, so we'll just leave all of these options as is. So for now, we can close out the Wrangler TOML, and then the other file that we're going to look at is the index.js. The index is pretty simple. We have an event listener listening for a fetch. And then on the event, we're going to respond with a handle request function, passing the event request. So here is our handle request function with our request. It is an asynchronous function, and we're going to return a new response. We're going to respond with hello world. Basically, this is the body of the response. And then we're going to add on some headers, and we're going to say content type is text plain. Pretty simple. So let's go ahead and publish this and see how it works. Let's open up our console, and we're just going to say Wrangler publish. This just takes a second, and there it is. Testworker.codestacker.workers.dev. So let's go ahead and open that up. And there we go. Hello worker. Pretty simple. That's all it did. Let's open up the console and let's check out this network. Let's reload that. And then we can look at our header responses here. And we can see that this is coming from Cloudflare. Go down here to server, Cloudflare. So this is all working as expected. Pretty simple, pretty easy. So now let's look at a little bit more of a complex example. We're going to create a Discord / command. Really quick, like this video, it helps me out. So what is a Discord / command? Well, if you go into Discord and you just type /, you're going to get all of these / command options. So we could add a shrug, pretty simple, but we can make these as advanced as we want with custom commands. So if we go over to the Discord developer portal, we can see exactly what we need to do in order to add one of these commands. So it is an HTTP post. So we need to pass it some JSON. So we'll name it. We'll have a description. That's what the user will see in Discord. And then we'll have some options. So for instance, this is going to be an animal picker. So the description is the type of animal, and this is required. And then here are the choices: dog, cat, and penguin. And then there is another option called only small, whether to show only baby animals. This is not required. And so this is the setup of the menu within Discord that the user is going to see. And then we can have a response to the user. After that, we have to pass into our headers and authorization for our bot, which I'll show you how to set up next. All right, so we need to go into our Discord developer portal, and then we can create a new application. I'm going to name this Discord / bot. And that is actually all that we need to do. There's nothing else in here that we need to configure or change. We will have to reference the client ID, the public key, and the secret in just a little bit, but we'll come back to that. All right, now I want to show you this amazing package here from GlenStack, written by Greg Bremble. This is a Cloudflare Workers Discord bot, and we're going to use this package to create our / command. So it's pretty simple. We just npm install it, and then there's some example code here, and we're going to come back to this, but because this is written in TypeScript, we're going to stick with TypeScript, and we're going to go back to our examples or our starters here, and we're going to use this TypeScript starter template to get us started. All right, so instead of typing this in, I just went ahead and pasted it. So we're calling Wrangler, and then generate, and then we're going to name it Discord/demo. And then we're getting our template from here. This is our worker TypeScript template. All right, so let's go ahead and create that. That's pretty quick. Let's go ahead and cd into Discord/demo. And let's open it up in VS Code. All right, so since there are several packages already in this template, let's go ahead and open up our terminal. Let's do npm I to get all of our packages installed. Next, let's install the GlenStack project. So we'll say npm I, and then it's at glenstack/cf-workers/discord/bot. That should just take a second. All right, now that we got everything installed, let's go ahead and check out our Wrangler TOML. So we need to add our account ID again. So let's go back to workers and grab that, and then we'll just paste that in here. And notice this time we're using the type Webpack. That's because we have node modules that it needs to bundle. We also have a Webpack config file here that is custom set up for TypeScript. So we're not going to worry about any of that, but just notice the changes here. That's why that they're there. So we're going to save this, and then let's check out the rest of the structure. Now this time there is no index.js file here. We're going to our source, and there is an index.ts file. This is importing our handle request. It's doing the same fetch and then responding with the handle request. This time the handler is in the handle.ts file. So we're actually going to just get rid of this and just use one index file. So I'm going to delete the handler ts, and then in the index file, we're going to use the example code from the GlenStack project. So we're just going to copy all of this and check it out, see how it works. So in the index, we're just going to paste over that. So the first thing that we're doing is importing a bunch of stuff from the Cloudflare Workers Discord bot package. We have our hello command. Again, this is TypeScript, so this is an application command. So that's coming in here from our bot package. And this is a very simple slash command. It's just named hello, and it says the bot will say hello to you. So in this example, we have our hello command. We also have our hello handler. So when the slash command is run, what will the server send back to us? So this is an interaction handler, and it's an async function. We're accepting an interaction, and it's going to return a promise. So in here, we're going to get the user ID, which is coming from our interaction. And because of TypeScript, we have all of the TypeScript help that we need. So if we just hit interaction dot, and we know exactly what is in here. We want the member, and then after the member, we want the user. And then after the user, we want the user's ID. And now we're going to return. We're going to return a type of interaction response type channel message with source. So if we go back to our Discord developer portal documentation, we go down to our example here, we have type 3. I don't know what 3 is. Do you know what 3 is? Not sure. We'd have to go in the documentation, figure out what all these types are and what type 3 is. So with TypeScript, we have enums. We can see that this is an enum, interaction response type. So channel message with source is going to translate into a number. We don't really care what the number is as long as it's the correct one, right? So if we just say dot, we get all of our options here. Acknowledge with source, channel message with source. That's what we want. Now within the data, we're going to send it some content, and it's just going to say hello, and then it's going to at the user ID, right? And then we have to allow mentions and pass in that user ID. So pretty simple. It's just going to say hello back to us. Now, if we go down, we have our regular add event listener, fetch, respond with slash command handler, which is right here, slash command handler. And this is where we need our application ID for our Discord bot. We need our application secret. We need our public key. And then we're passing our commands, hello command and hello handler that we just looked at right above here. All right, so let's go ahead and finish filling this out. We need our application ID, secret, and public key. So I have that open up on my other screen here, and I'm just going to copy the client ID. So this says application ID. In Discord, it's going to say client ID. It's the same thing. So I'm going to put that in there. This is not something that's secret. It's fine. Public key, again, it's public. No reason to keep it secret. All right, and then application secret, that is secret. we should store this in a secret. Okay, so I am going to copy that. I'm actually just going to paste this in here. I'm going to regenerate it after I record the video, so I don't really care. But before we're done here, I'm going to show you how to put it into an application secret and pass it through Cloudflare workers. For now, we're just going to put it in like this. All right, so now I'm going to save this, and we should be able to deploy this and see it work. So let's open up the terminal, and we're going to do Wrangler publish. And it's going to use Webpack to bundle everything and then publish it. That was pretty quick. All right, so now it is at discord/demo.codestacker.workers.dev. All right, so let's go back to the GlenStack project documentation really quick first before we do anything else. So that was over here. Let's go down, and once we have changed all of these things, here is how we use it. All right, so to slash redirects the user to Discord to authorize the bot. So the first thing we'll need to do is to visit the website, and then slash setup registers the command with Discord. And this endpoint must be visited once to initialize the new command, and again every time the commands are updated. All right, so slash setup, we have to remember that. Slash interaction is how it responds to Discord. So we'll need to go back to the developer portal, and under interaction endpoint URL, we'll need to put in our URL slash interaction. All right, so let's do that first, and then we'll authorize it, and then we'll set it up. So let's go back here. Let's copy this, and then we'll go to our developer portal. All right, so right here, interaction endpoint URL. That's where we're going to put that slash interaction. All right, let's save that. So now let's go ahead and visit this. The first time we visited, it's going to prompt us to authorize the bot. Okay, so we see that it is going to register it to create slash commands in a server. It is not going to buy you a nice seafood dinner. Okay, got that. Now select the server and authorize. Okay, now we're authorized. Now we need to also set it up. So let's go back to our URL, discord/demo.codestacker.workers.dev/setup, right? So your URL is going to be different for you, but it will be /setup. And the only thing that we should see is okay. There we go. Okay, so now it's set up. All right, so now if we go into Discord, I'm in the server that I authorized the bot in. So if we go to server settings and we go to integrations, we should see Discord/bot. It has been authorized, it's here. So let's go back and let's try to use it. So we'll say / and it's not there. Let's take a look at the docs. All right, so here it says global commands are cached for 1 hour. That means that new global commands will fan out slowly across all guilds and will be guaranteed to be updated in an hour. Okay, so in the GlenStack project, we're using this global application ID /commands, right? If we go down here, alternatively, we could do my application ID, and then we could also give it the guild ID. And it says that guild command updates are instant. So we recommend using guild commands for quick testing and global commands when you're ready for public use. All right. So the GlenStack project is not set up for guild IDs. So I'm going to have to wait an hour. So I am going to take a look at that project and see if I can contribute to it to accept guild IDs as an option. For now, we'll wait an hour. I'll see you back here when it starts working. So I just want to be clear that we're not waiting on Cloudflare workers. We're waiting on Discord to populate our / command. All right, we're back. Let's give it a shot. / there we go. /hello bot will say hello to you. So I'm just going to hit enter and then hit enter. And there we go. It says hello CodeStacker. Pretty cool. So now let's make this a little bit more interesting. We're going to go back to the documentation on Discord. So here in the developer portal, we have this example of choosing an animal, and then It's supposed to send a random adorable animal photo. So we're going to actually make that happen, make it work. All right, so back in VS Code, we're going to alter this a bit. Instead of hello command, let's rename that to cute animal. So I'm going to hit F2. That's going to rename it everywhere where it's used. All right, so we're going to say cute animal. All right, and then we're going to name it, let's say cute animal pic. And it is going to send an adorable animal photo. All right, so next I'm just going to copy and paste the options from the Discord developer portal. And we're just going to change this up a bit. So the name is animal, description is type of animal. This is going to be a string. Again, we're using a TypeScript enum to get this. This is all set up through the GlenStack package that we imported, right? So required is true. We do need to select. Name is going to be dog and value is going to be dog. So the name is what the user will see when they're picking it. The value is what the server will see when it's submitted. So we're just going to keep it the same. You could change it to whatever you want. We're going to do a dog, cat, and a goat. All right, and then only baby. So do we only want to see baby photos? And this is going to be a command option type of Boolean. So yes or no. And it is not required. Okay, so now let's change hello handler to, we're going to hit F2. We'll say cute handler. All right, so we're still going to get the user ID and we're still going to say hello and all this other stuff, but we're going to get some extra stuff. All right, so we need to get a const of options, and that is going to equal our interaction dot data dot options. So we're asking the user for options, and now on the server, we need to know what options did they select. Right? And so now let's get the option type. So that is going to equal options. So there's going to be two or possibly two options. We're asking for the type of animal, and then we're also asking if it's going to be a baby or not. And that second option is optional. So we may or may not get that. So we have to do a little bit of checking to make sure. So this is going to be an array. Index of 0 should be our animal type. So we'll say that dot value. But we're not quite sure if that's going to be there. TypeScript is yelling at us. So usually I would just do some optional chaining here. But currently, the version of Webpack that Cloudflare Workers is using doesn't work with optional chaining. They are working on an update to that, so it should work pretty soon. But for now, we'll just do this the old school way, and we'll say options and. So if we have options, then we're going to get options array index 0 dot value. So that's going to be our option type. We also need to get the option baby. Option baby. That's going to equal, again, we're going to check for options. If we have options, then we also are going to have to check for options 1. And if that's there, then we'll get options 1 dot value. And since this is an optional option, it may not be there at all. So if it's not there, then we're going to just default to false. So we're going to say or false. All right. So that's going to wrap this in parentheses. So we're going to check all of this first. If that's there, then we'll get the value. If it's not there, we'll just default it to false. All right, so now we need to get the picture URL. And we're going to set that up in a minute, but for now, we're going to just type this out. We'll say pic URL. It's going to equal a function that we're going to create called get URL. We're going to pass it the option type and the option baby. All right, so we'll create that function in just a minute. Let's just finish this up here. So like I said, the data, we're going to keep this hello user. We're going to keep this allow mentions. And then we're going to add on to that some embeds. All right, so we're going to say embeds, and that is going to be an array. And I think that the maximum is 25. I think you can include 25 embeds. So embeds accepts an object. It has a title. So the title, let's say here is a cute, and then we're going to pass in the option type. Option type, picture. So it could say, here's a cute dog picture, cat picture, goat picture, right? And then after that, we need to include our type. So what type is this? And because we have TypeScript, we can use embed type. So that is coming from our Glen Stack package, right? So we're going to import that. VS Code is going to automatically import it for us. And then we want rich. So that's the type of embed. It's going to be a rich embed. So embed type, if we go up to the top, we can see that it was automatically imported. VS Code helped us out there. Now back down here. Next, we want to add a description. So we'll say description is going to be, I want it to say dog or possibly baby dog or baby cat or cat. So we're not sure if it's a baby or not. So we're going to say option baby. We'll use a ternary operator here. So if option baby, then we'll say baby. And if not, just blank. And then after that, we'll have our option type. All right. And then after that, we can choose the color of the embed. So when you have an embed in Discord on the left side, there's a little slight line of color that you can customize. So we'll say color, and I'm not sure where these colors came from, but this, let me just copy and paste it. This is the color. I wanted an orange color. So what I found was this gist that has code colors for Discord.js, which is another package to work with Discord. Again, if somebody knows where these colors are coming from, like what format is this, I'm not sure. But I just chose this orange, but I'll link to this in the description. All right, so the last thing we're going to do here is add our image. So that is going to be an object, and it's going to have a URL. And that is going to be our pick URL, which we'll get in just a minute from our other function. Actually, let's go ahead and start with that. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a const of animal picks. And that is going to equal an array. All right, so I'm just going to paste this in. So we're just going to create an array of objects here, basically a database of pictures, right? So we have a name, which really should be a type, I guess, but whatever. A value, which is the URL, and then whether it's a baby or not. So I just went onto Pixabay and got some random images of dogs and puppies and cats and kittens and goats, right? So I just have all of these in here. I guess there's probably an API out there that I could have implemented. I also could have stored these in Workers KV. So maybe that's a task that you could do. If you want to convert this to use Workers KV, that'd be amazing. So now that we have this kind of database, we're going to create our function. So it's going to be function get URL, and we're going to accept option type, which is going to be a string. Remember, we're using TypeScript here. We need to let it know. And then option baby, and that is going to be a Boolean. And then we're going to return, basically we're looking for the URL, right? So we're going to return animal pics dot find. So we'll say animal arrow function, and we'll say animal dot name is equal to option type. So if it's equal to option type and animal dot baby is equal to option baby, then we want the value, which is the URL. And now VS Code automatically added on this optional chaining. We're gonna have to take that off, and we'll do a little bit of formatting here. All right, so then let's check the rest of this here. This is all good. Cute animal and cute handler. So now let's fix this secret here. We don't want this to be in our actual code. So I'm going to cut that out. And we'll go back to the way it was before, application secret. But we need to add this application secret into workers. So let's open up the terminal. We're going to do Wrangler secret and then put. We're going to call it application secret. just like it is up here. So that's how Wrangler is going to know what the application secret is. So you can name this whatever you want. Application secret there has to match application secret here, right? So we're going to enter there, and then it's going to ask us, what do we want that application secret to be? So now I'm going to paste in my application secret. And there we go. It now knows our application secret. It's on the server side. No one else can see it. Now, we are going to get this little thing yelling at us, cannot find application secret. This is just TypeScript. It doesn't know that application secret will actually be there when we run it, but we know that it will be, so we can just ignore this. All right, so we're going to save that. And now let's go ahead and publish it. Back in the terminal, we're going to say Wrangler publish. It's going to package everything up, and we have an issue. Okay, so this is some optional chaining. We can't have that. Why is that even in there? This is on our Qt handler options. All right, so let's go up to Qt handler here, options. Okay, all right, take that off. We can't have any optional chaining right now. And there's a couple of other issues. Oh yes, so I pasted this stuff in here. We need to import it, right? So the application command type, if we press Control period, then it will automatically import that for us. So there we go, get that one imported. And then down here, the only other thing was the application secret. That's fine. All right, so let's give it another shot. Save. Let's open up the terminal, Wrangler publish, and let's see if it works this time. Build successful. Okay, so again, we need to visit this /setup. So let's copy that. So if we go directly to this URL, that is to authenticate the application. We've already done that. So we just need to go to this /setup. So I already have it in here. So let's just refresh. That's going to reset up everything. And let's see if we have, I'm not sure if we have to wait again or not. Let's give it a shot. All right, /. It still says hello. All right. Let me restart Discord and see. All right, so it looks like we have to wait another hour for the changes to update. So I will be back. So I just want to be clear that we're not waiting on Cloudflare workers. We're waiting on Discord to populate our / command. All right, so now if we hit /, we'll see cute animal pics. That's an option. Now we can choose dog, cat, or goat. Let's go for goat. And then if we tab over, we can select whether we want it to be a baby goat or an adult goat. So let's say true for baby goat. And there we go. Hello, Code Stacker. Here's a cute goat picture, baby goat. Nice. If we do this again, go to cute animal pic. Let's choose cat. And this time we're not going to choose whether it's a baby or not. We're just going to hit enter and skip that optional parameter. And we get an adult cat. So I hope you check out Cloudflare Workers. Let me know in the comments below what you've used it for. The link to Cloudflare Workers is in the description below. That's going to be it for this video. I hope it was helpful. Like this video to help me out and subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this.